Welcome back, Hobby Maniacs. Today we're going to take a closer look at White Dwarf 129 with all the new Uruk models that are coming for the Age of Sigmar. Spiky bits. Make sure you stay in the trenches by becoming a supporter over on Patreon and also scoring yourself some free miniature swag in the process. Subscribe to this YouTube channel. Check out our site, spikybits.com, for all the hot hobby tutorials, news, rumors on all your favorite hobby topics. And head on over to thelongwar.net. That's the home of the battle reports for exclusive content, early access videos, and more. Become a veteran of the Long War today. Alright, so it's a brand new world when it comes to the Age of Sigmar. We got the General's Handbook coming out next week, and of course, some dope-ass looking new Uruk models. These are the Bone Splitters, whatever you want to call it. They're basically the Savage Orcs, you know. Now, we saw these guys, like, when was the last time we saw Savage Orcs? Like 2012, right? And they look fresh, they're cool. I mean, they got a whole entry in the General's Handbook. So we know that they're definitely a big part of the game. The Bone Splitters are actually in. I don't have it here, but I was going to show you basically their breakdown. But you know, needless to say, it's going to be a really cool release for the Uruks because we're already seeing the greenskins doing so well with all those like dope-ass armored models. So just a little bit of lore and background about like what motivates them and things. There's a story in here about the one caster guy, little wizard's like searching for the great treant spirit. I guess he's gonna like steal its soul or whatever, or like turn it into like a big effigy of Gork or possibly Mork, depending on which way their affiliation goes, and then start rampaging across the mortal realms there. So that's the kind of the backdrop for what's going on in the battle tome that's coming out. And of course, you got the reprints of the old sets here. Now, the Savage Uruks are normally a 10-box set, and I think they went for, I want to say they went for, let's see, this is 50. I want to say they went for like 25 bucks back in the day, or 29 actually, I think. But now you get the 20-pack for 50, which doesn't seem too bad money-wise for me, just because, you know, now they got the bigger blocks. The same with the Savage Orc Boar Boys used to be a 5-man box, I think for the same price point. Again, this stuff's like 4 years old. Can't remember exactly. But at $50 for 10 models, especially when they're on mounts, I feel like that's a good deal. I mean, it's basically the same price point. You're getting 20 models, whether it says 20 there because you count the mounts. It's a model, right? I would if I was charging to paint them at least. And then we got some re-releases for the new character models for these guys, right? And these are all fine cast, and of course you got the Uruk boss, which is already out, and he himself is a plastic clam pack. So there's all that, and then it gets into the new battle tome for them. And if you're new to Age of Sigmar, battle tomes are basically like the army books of fantasy yesteryear, or a codex in Warhammer 40k. So to kind of keep that in mind, but then you can get all the other war scrolls online for free from Games Workshop site. You can get them on the app for free. The battalions, basically the formations, cost I think like $2 each if you unlock them on there. But you know, so you got different options to get all the rules that you need in various different ways. And then here's some that we're going to see. Of course, they're going to have an allegiance ability, just like we saw with the Sylvanas. So it seems like that is the new kind of standard that they're doing for all these battle tomes. Now, it'd be nice to see a collection of battle, maybe like Allegiance source book or something coming out for Age of Sigmar, where the battle tomes that came out in the past year get basically upgraded to General's Handbook status. But I don't know if we'll see something like that, but it would be really nice to see, because, you know, there's basically all the Chaos stuff out there that doesn't have any specifics. I mean, now they have the forces of Chaos, or, you know, the Grand Alliance Chaos Allegiance. There's specific ones in there, but there isn't any if they're, say, Khorne Bloodbound, you know what I mean? So the specific battle tomes that came out don't have specific Allegiance abilities, or war gear, or new wizard arcane lore spells to grab from either. So if those are in here, that's kind of the new standard, you know, is kind of what I'm saying. So it would be nice to see an update to the older books that aren't even a year old yet. Then we got the new Age of Sigmar starter for $33. Comes with all these fresh models right here, which is, you know, it is a value if you don't want to spring for the $80 box or whatever it is now. Maybe it's $125. I couldn't even tell you. But if you don't want to spring for that, $33, it gets you started right away into learning the basics, and you get some fresh models right here. I mean, the Liberators are 15. I think it's a box of 5 for like 60. Or excuse me, the Retributors, the Liberators, I think are 5 for 50. These guys also, I think, are around $50, $55 for 10, and 20 of those right there. So for $33, this is a good deal. I could definitely see a lot of people taking advantage of this. I'm sure they're the easy assemble or the push fit models from the Age of Sigmar box itself, basically recontented. But it's fine. I mean, if it gets people into the game and gets people checking them out, you know, hobbying on a budget, that's great. Then there's the new $8 magazine that comes with the Liberator model from the White Dwarf of a year ago when they launched the Age of Sigmar with a start collecting guide. It's $8. This is the rock bottom, bare bones minimum bottom line price to get into Age of Sigmar. $8. Like, I feel like you owe it to yourself to check this game out for $8. Like, come on, what else are you gonna do today for $8 that could be possibly better than this? Maybe a Starbucks, I don't know, but that's only like 5. So I guess you could get a combo meal from McDonald's maybe. I don't even know what those cost anymore. I can't eat at McDonald's. But anyways, and then of course the General's Handbook's coming in fresh this week with all the new points values, all the new styles of play or modes of play, all your allegiance abilities, your new pitch battle, all sorts of new content in here. $25. If you're already in Age of Sigmar, it's a must-have. Be sure to pick it up this week. And of course, the new worldwide campaign has started as well, so don't miss out on any of that hotness. And the very last release for this week are the new easy to build boxes, which are basically the Age of Sigmar Battle of Vedros, where they're just basically putting these things out, small box form, $15. I think it's a great deal. If you need a price point on it, you're saving a lot of money off buying the actual box set itself. But more importantly, it allows people to jump into the game quick and get the stuff they need and figure out if they want it, or to add to a unit or something like that. Because remember, some of these guys, like the Retributors, for example, there's fielding squads of 5, but they only come through to a box. So, you know, you kind of gotta, do your math and crunch your numbers there, because it's not as customizable unit size in Age of Sigmar as it is in like 40K, okay? And then, of course, they're like, hey, the starter set, oh, how much is that? 125, okay, I was right, it's 125. Wah wah. And then it goes into Reader's Choice, Parade Grounds, and stuff like that, all sorts of new stuff. And then in the back, the new teaser for the week is Shattered Domains, Magic Circles, and Golden Demons. So I feel like there's going to be a Golden Demon showcase in next week's White Dwarf, as well as the release of some terrain / maybe those Realm of Board battle boards for Age of Sigmar. Now remember, there's also some rumors out there that they're going to do a new baseline, you know, similar to what they did for the Sector Imperialis bases for 40K, but for Age of Sigmar with, like, you know, the dope ass magic circles and stuff like that in them. So I would like to see that. I mean, mixed reviews aside, yeah, you know, you can check out the videos on here. I painted the bases, I reviewed the bases. You know, it's pretty much divided down the middle whether they're worth it or not, I feel like, but it's still a great product for the price, you know what I mean? So seeing that for Age of Sigmar and being able to customize now your Age of Sigmar models, and honestly, some of the cuts they can make on for those bases would be dope for 40K too, because now you're starting to get like some arcane kind of mystic looking bases, maybe some dirt kind of bases, like some desert plateau kind of things. I'm just judging off what I saw on the Realm of Battle board, but man, you could easily cross those back over to 40K as well and get even more variety. And who knows in the future if they're going to start doing other packs, you know, like, you know, a desert, or like a wooded forest, or like, you know, something like Waterworld, or, you know, just all sorts of ideas. Games Workshop can take it any way they want. They could go into like display boards. They could go into all sorts of accessories. That's how you know a game is successful, when they can literally sell the accessories to their game instead of relying on third-party companies to produce them, which we know there's already a lot of third-party companies out there producing accessories for both 40K and Fantasy/Age of Sigmar already. But when the actual, it's kind of like X-Wing does. Now they've got colored bases. Now they've got little custom dials for the ships. So when a game is good and a game has gotten there when they can do stuff like that. So it's neat to see. It's great for the hobby. It's great for consumers and hobbyists. Everybody balling out on a budget that can't afford, or maybe doesn't perhaps like the resin bases that are available from other companies. I feel like, it is what it is. Some people might hit on them. Some people might like them. Some people might think they're too flat. Some people might think they're just right. It is what it is. At the end of the day, we vote with our dollars, and that's just what you got to do for every product out there, I feel like. But that's pretty much it for this one. Now, this is issue 129. We have 2 more issues of White Dwarf left before they go on their month-long hiatus and come back in September with the new monthly format of, I think it was a 166-page magazine. So I'm basically dubbing September the unveiling of the new GW, because basically at that point they have pushed aside all of the old Tom Kirby-isms and Tom Kirby procedures and policies and I guess direction, and they've kind of dropped the sail and made all ahead full for the new Richard Roundtree era of Games Workshop. And I feel like from September forward, we're really going to start to see the full force and magnitude of the direction and or exactly what Games Workshop is doing, I guess, because magnitude is force and magnitude. Anyways, long story short, good things are coming in September.
Deleted scenes, bonus content, and all the interviews and post-game wrap-up videos can be located in the Hall of Veterans on thelongwar.net. Visit thelongwar.net today and try a week completely free with no strings attached. That's not all. Thelongwar.net is also your hobby resource for exclusive early access with an ad-free experience to all your favorite videos. Members of the Hall of Veterans gain early exclusive access to multiple hobby videos.